Welcome to this series on English tenses. In this class, we will look at the present simple tense. I will show you exactly when to use present simple tense, how to use it, and also what mistakes to be careful of when you are using this tense. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. Now let's discuss the structure of the present simple. Like its name, it is fairly simple. Subject plus base form of the verb or V1. But there is one exception. When the subject is third person singular, we add s to the end of the verb. This always makes so many learners confused when they are relatively new to learning English. Let's understand through this table. So for I, we, you and they, it is I play, you eat, we dance, they sing. But with he, she, it or any singular name, it is she plays, he eats, it smells, Jack sings. So remember, always use s at the end of the verb when the subject is third person singular, that is he, she, it or any singular name. Now let's see how we can use present simple tense in 5 different ways. To express a habitual action and routine, permanent situation, to express facts or general statement, to express scheduled future event, and states. First way that we use this tense is to talk about habits and routines. That is something we do repeatedly or frequently. Let's understand through examples. The first example is, I get up at 6 a.m. every morning. So this is something I do every morning, that is repeatedly. I got up at 6 a.m. yesterday. I got up at 6 a.m. today. And I will wake up at 6 a.m. tomorrow. This is a habit for me. Now the next example. We go to park on Sundays. This means we went to park last Sunday, we went to park this Sunday, and we will go to the park next Sunday. This is a habit that we repeat on every Sunday. Now I want you to go through the rest of the sentences. They visit the dentist twice a year for checkup. He always eats lunch at 1 p.m. Rohan usually takes the bus to office. She often goes to cinema. He rarely visits us. Amy hardly watches TV. She never comes home late. And the last one, it sometimes snows here. Now I want you to notice sentences from 4 to 10. I have highlighted the subject and verb in red. In these sentences, I have added s at the end of the verb as the subject in these sentences are third person singular, that is he, she, it or any singular name. Now I want you to focus on the words I have highlighted in blue. Every morning, on Sunday, twice a year, always, usually, often, rarely, hardly, never, sometimes. These words are clue that these actions happen regularly. You can see how often or how frequently the actions happen. When we use habits or routines, we normally use this kind of expressions. The word like every is quite common in phrases like every morning, afternoon, every day, week, month, etc. Like I said, I get up 6 a.m. every morning. We go to Rajasthan on vacation every year. You can also use prepositions like on, in, as in Sam visits his grandparents on weekends, or we go to Simla in winter. And there are expressions like once a year, twice a month, once a day, etc. For example, she only eats once a day. Apart from these phrases, we also use frequency adverbs. If you remembered, one of our example was He always eats lunch at 1 am. The word always is adverb of frequency. When we do an action all the time, that means 100% of the time, we can use always. We can also use adverb of frequency never. It implies an action which happens 0% of the time. For example, she never comes home late. Then there are some adverb of frequency in the middle, like usually, generally, often, which are quite positive. Some are neutral, like sometimes, occasionally. When I say it sometimes snows here, that means it happens 50% of the time. I mean 50-50. Then there are negative frequency adverbs like seldom, rarely, hardly ever. For example, if I say I hardly ever watch TV or I rarely watch TV, that means I spend very little amount of time watching TV. Now let's talk about the other use of present simple tense. Present simple tense can be used in permanent situations or situations that don't change. For example, Jack lives in Mumbai. So when I say Jack lives in Mumbai, that's where Jack lives, not for a short time but for a long time. And more or less it's a permanent situation. He is not there for vacations, he is not living there temporarily, just for a week or so. It means Jack lives there permanently. And this is something that is not going to change. This might change in future, but we don't expect the situation to change. So it's wrong to say Jack is living in Mumbai. You can say Jack is living in Mumbai if he is living there temporarily. Now look at the second example. Sam works at SBI. It means that's his permanent regular job. He is not going to change that job. He might change, but we are not concerned now. It's not a temporary job. It's not a job that he has for a little while. That's where he works most of the time. It is wrong to say Sam is working at SBI. If I say that, it means it's a temporary job and he is working there for maybe for a couple of weeks or month. Simple present tense is also used to express facts and general statements. Facts are basically universal truth. These are something scientifically proven. For example, sun rises in the east. Everybody knows that sun rises in the east, right? It rose in the east yesterday, it rose in the east today, and it will rise in the east tomorrow. It is not something that I decided or you decided. It is a true fact. We could also say the sun sets in the west. Water boils at 100 degrees C. Birds fly. Pigs don't fly. 2 plus 2 is 4. These are basically universal facts or general truths. They are the actual permanent situations. They have always been true and are not going to change. Present simple tense is also used in general statements with the help of to be verbs like is, am, are. For example, I am a teacher, she is beautiful, they are intelligent. Simple present tense is also used to talk about the future event based on official timetable or scheduled event. This is a little bit confusing because generally we use will or going to for future events, but we can use structure of present simple also for official or fixed timetables. For example, the plane leaves at 10:15 pm. The cricket match starts at 2:30 pm. PM Modi visit USA next week. The mayor opens the new hospital on October 10. In the next video lesson, we will learn how to use stative verbs in present simple tense and how to make negative and interrogative sentences in present simple tense. Thank you for watching.